All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for hopping on tonight. We are really, really, really excited because we have a special guest from Scentsy Home Office. And I'm not going to take any time talking this evening. I'm turning the floor right over to her. She has so much information to share with us, and she's incredible. So, without further ado, Jonet,
Yeah.
you have the floor. Welcome to our Tuesday Zoom.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. And what I would love is for everyone to put a little heart in the chat for your leaders because, and I know we have several on, but I just want you guys to know what a blessing it is. And like, honestly, the unsung hero in this business of having a leader that invests their time, their energy, and their effort into your learning and development. Like, that is such a big deal. And if this is the only team you've ever been on, you probably wouldn't know any different. And so I just want to call out, like, what a shout out to all your leaders that they are not only investing all of their time to be here with you tonight, but also reaching out to other people to be guest speakers on your guys' call. So huge shout out to them. And then give a little clap in the chat for yourself. It's kind of like a little pat on the back for being here yourself, being willing to invest your time, your energy, your effort into enhancing skills, refining your skills, learning and developing. I believe that learners are earners. And so I think that it's no small potatoes that you guys are on with us tonight. So thank you all for being here. We are actually going to get social tonight. So just a little context, a little bit about me. I know Melissa mentioned that I am from home office and I've been at Scentsy for about 2 years now, almost 2 years, coming up on my 2-year Scentiversary. But before I was at Scentsy, I ran my own direct sales business. And while I loved building my business, one thing that I used to grow my business was social media. And for the 3 years leading up to coming to Scentsy, I actually ran my own consulting and coaching business, teaching direct sellers how to grow their business on social media. I believe that social media is such an incredible asset to us as direct sellers. I mean, if you think about it, direct sales has been around for like 170 years, which is mind-boggling. Like, that's a very, very, very long time. And if we would have, like, gone back in time to, I think I did the math on this the other day and I can't remember, but I think it was like 1865 or 55, something like that. If we would have went back in time and said, hey, someday you're not going to have to be standing on a soapbox in your town square or knocking down the door. Someday we're going to put a little magic box in your hand and you're going to have access to thousands of people. You're not going to even have to leave the comfort of your home if you don't want to. They probably would have signed us up for the Cuckoo Institute. They would have thought we were crazy, right? I do think that the longevity of this industry speaks to the effectiveness that the direct sales industry is. And I think what a time for you guys to be in this industry where you do have direct access to thousands of people. You're not having to meet face to face, right? And that's what social media is. That's the amazing aspect of social media that you have by being able to be direct with people all through a little magic box, right? So we're going to dive into a few different things, but I want to first start sharing about your approach. And I always start with this when I talk about social media, because I'm a big believer that your approach matters. How you show up on social media matters. What you believe about this industry and your business and the product you sell and the host rewards that you have to offer, the business opportunity you have to offer, it matters. And I have some great tips I'm going to share with you tonight, but hear me loud and clear on this. Technique will never overcome belief. So I'll give you great tips, great things that you can start implementing immediately to start converting more friends and followers into customers. But if you believe that social media is hard to master, or you believe it's hard to find your next team member on social media, or it's hard to get a sale on social media, guess what? You'll be right. You will absolutely be right. No matter what, like, we could tell you all the great things to do, but if your belief isn't in the right place, you will struggle on social media. There's this thing called confirmation bias, and it's a legit thing. And essentially, what it is that you will always find evidence for what you believe. So if you believe it's hard, it's going to be hard. But if you approach social media with this endless potential, essentially, for possibilities, you'll be right. You'll also be right. You'll find evidence that actually it's easy to find customers on social media. It's easy to find your next team member on social media. It's easy to book parties on social media. So I always want to lead with that, because how this impacts your approach is the energy you bring in your conversations and in your, honestly, even in your presence on social media. And what happens is, if you believe that it's hard, or you believe that it's a struggle for you, you end up showing up with convincing energy. And what convincing energy is essentially you're getting on social media and you're trying to convince people that this is a great product. This is a great business opportunity. This is a great way to save on product by having a party. And you're trying to convince people. However, if you believe that this is an amazing opportunity, that this product there's nothing like it on the market, you'll show up with converting energy. And converting energy is different, and people can sense it. Converting energy is this: you'd be crazy not to have a party with me, because that's the best way to save on this awesome product. You'd be crazy not to try this business opportunity, because it's a flexible way to have financial freedom. Okay. And it's different. It's different. And people can feel it, even though they might not see you, even if it's a caption, or even if it's just a picture. It conveys on social media. And I want all of you guys to be showing up on social media with converting energy. And converting energy is confident. It brings a confidence to everything you're doing. If you feel like you struggle with confidence in your business, I would tell you to go out there and enhance your skills and knowledge. Go learn more about the industry. Learn about all of the ways that this industry has blessed and provided for people, all of the ways that people's lives have been impacted and changed by this industry. That's going to build your confidence, and it will convey to all of your approach on social media. The next thing I want to tell you guys is to stay flexible and innovative. And why this is important is because there is nothing evergreen about social media. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. It is always changing. It's always like, pivoting. You're having to pivot and be like, oh, Reels worked this week, but now it's on to something new, right? And I think that's important for setting the expectation for you, because it's very easy to get in a habit of, hey, this is what's worked for me before. And then when it stops working, you think, oh my gosh, you know what? It's all going down the drain, and it's just stopping. It's not going to work anymore. But that's not true. Just because something used to work for you doesn't mean it's always going to work for you. But if you approach it with a mindset that you're going to be flexible and innovative, it makes you adaptable to trying new trends, checking out new things, seeing if it works for you, and being okay with having things fail. And I know that that sounds a little scary, but sometimes on social media, you're going to try a new approach, you're going to try a new trend, and it's not going to work. It might flop, it might get no engagement, but that's okay, because you tried it and you're being adaptable, which is going to help you grow and maintain longevity on social media. And it's important that you remember that. It's important that you remember that even though something's working for you really well right now, doesn't mean it's always going to work really well for you. Just because something that worked really good in your Facebook parties last year or 2 months ago doesn't mean that's always going to be what works well for you in your social media. So stay curious. Stay curious on your social media. Look at what other people are doing just to get some ideas, to be inspired, so that you're able to stay flexible and try new things and be willing to be innovative. Okay. All right. Everyone give me a little thumbs up in the chat just so I can do a little check-in, make sure everyone's still with me. I always love to tell people this. I only tell you this because, okay, let me tell you. I have 5 sisters. So I talk really fast, because if I ever wanted to get a word in, it had to be loud and had to be quick. Okay. So put in the chat, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're still tracking with me and that I didn't lose you. Okay. Perfect. Love the thumbs up. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to first talk about 3 trends that we're seeing on social media right now. that can help you if you lean into them. You got to lean into these trends to really gain some leverage for your social media. The very first trend is authenticity. And I want to give you a little bit more context around this. There was a time in social media where everyone wanted to have this like picture perfect, great aesthetic, everything looks the same, very branded approach. And for a long time, that's what worked. That's what people needed to do to gain leverage, to gain followers, to really convert followers to customers. However, times have changed. Things are a lot different right now. And we've even forecasted for 2025, by the way, another just a little bonus golden nugget, not even in my notes, but something for you is that Instagram and Facebook always post their trends and their insights, and you can go look this up. And it's important that you do because you can see, hey, this is what they're forecasting to trend for 2025. This is what they're forecasting to trend for 2020, or this is what they're forecasting to end for 2025. So it's important that you see what's trending and what's ending because that's going to help you with planning and pivoting to what is going on social media. Like I said, it's not evergreen and you got to be willing to be flexible. But right now for 2025, we're seeing this huge lean in for people not wanting a fake facade. People are over it. Like, don't give me the fake picture perfect stuff. I want the real, I want the raw, I want the behind the scenes, which honestly, a little hallelujah and amen for that, because that's kind of a lot to keep up with. This picture perfect like image, that's a lot to try to maintain. And so I'm kind of personally very excited about authenticity being a trend. But what this looks like for you on your social media is show up in your voice. And when I say your voice, when you are on your videos or when you are writing captions, write in a way that if you were sitting across from your sister or across from your best friend, what you would actually say to them. What words would you use, right? I think that we got really stuck in this, I would call it convenience copy and paste habit, where we saw somebody, maybe even your leader, post something that sounded and looked beautiful, and we just copied it and pasted it. However, your friends and family and your followers probably know you and they know it's copy and pasted. And people nowadays can read it a million miles away. They can tell if it was generated by you or not. And it seems so salesy when you're copying and pasting and using other people's content. So I want to encourage you, if you're just getting started with trying to grow your business on social media, lean in to authenticity. Write your own captions. Maybe you need to use somebody else's picture because you want to market a product you don't have, for example. That's fine, but talk about it in a way you would talk about it. Don't copy and paste somebody else's caption. Talk about it the way you would. And if you can use your own pictures and videos, even better. I love the marketing materials that we provide at home office for all of you in the marketing section of your workstation. Those are great pictures. I would say those are best utilized for you in Facebook groups or like closed groups, Facebook parties, or maybe even party texts. What's going to do the best for you on your personal social media or your business social media is your own pictures and videos. And I'm not saying that's a hard and fast rule that you can never use marketing that's provided, but people can tell when it's a perfectly curated image and it doesn't feel like you, it doesn't feel authentic. And when they see that, they immediately think, oh, sales, they're trying to sell me something. And so you don't want to trigger that for them. You want to trigger authenticity. You want them to know, hey, this is a product I really love, and here's why. Okay, so authenticity, lean into it as much as you can, like literally as much as you can. Okay, trend number 2. I'm going to show you this, and I know I'm going to get a little bit of like, from some of you, but hear me out because I think there's a great ways to do this that are simple, easy, and fun. Okay, so trend number 2 is Reels. I will be honest, Reels have been a trend for the last 4 years, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. What a reel is it's a short form video. So these are your like TikTok style videos, but on Facebook and Instagram, they're called reels and they have a time limit. So you generally want to keep it around 90 seconds, but I will tell you the shorter, the better, because as We as humans and culture and society keep getting inundated with all of this news and information and social media. Our attention spans keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So you can create reels that are literally 5 seconds. And I'll tell you what you could do in a minute, but like a 5 second reel, and it doesn't have to be hard or complicated. It doesn't even have to show your face. It can really be simple, easy, and fun. And it's a great way for you to gain leverage on social media. So a reel literally can be as simple as putting up a tripod, and or even you don't even have to have a tripod. You could put your phone on a counter and kind of prop it up and hit record, and record you doing something for 5 seconds. It could be you grabbing your phone to text somebody. It could be you going to your laptop to type something. It could be you assembling Happy Mail, just something. What that's called B-roll. If you ever hear people talk about B-roll, essentially all it means is some candid, I guess is what I call it, candid footage of you doing an activity. That actually performs very, very real or very, very good on Reels. And it's an easy way for you to get content. And with that reel, you could say like, oh, here's a quick way that I work from my phone. Here's how I work from Wi-Fi. Or here's a way I save money in my business by shipping from home. And it's you assembling some Happy Meal, right? So you're giving some content around it. It's not just a 5 second video of you and then no context with it. But I want you to know that even though we say Reels is a trend, it doesn't have to be you like doing a TikTok dance or or mimicking a voiceover of somebody else. Those actually take a lot of time. I don't know if any of you ever tried to do like the voiceover reels? They are very time consuming. And I will tell you from a business standpoint, will not move the needle very much in your business. So I never recommend those kind of reels. Those kind of reels are going to take you probably an hour, maybe longer to actually nail, get your mouth lined up with the voiceover. And I think it's better for you if you're spending an hour on your business to do other things, to book, sell, and recruit. That's going to be way better for you than trying to get your voice lined up with the audio. So there are ways for you to use Reels, and it doesn't have to be crazy or time consuming. Okay. But it is something that if you're not doing them at all, look into how you can start implementing them in your social media plan. Is it once a week? Is it once a month? Maybe you've never done one and you just want to do one for the month of October. No matter where you are, just start with at least one. And the more you do them, the easier they become, the more ideas you'll get. But they're a great way to get leverage in your business and get new eyes on your content. Okay, the third trend is value content. So value content is any kind of content where you are providing value to your audience. So this is more like your educational content. This is where you're teaching them something. And why it's great for your audience is because they want to stick around when they're getting value from you. They want to seek you out when you are providing them with some kind of value. If they feel like all you're doing is posting about wax and warmers, only posting about a promotion, a scent and warmer of the month, it's easy to unfollow somebody or block somebody or tune somebody out when all they do is talk about promotion, promotion, promotion. So what you want to do, the approach you want to take when it comes to your social media is think, how can I provide value to my friends and followers? And it can still be with a product, but it could be, hey, here's two quick ways that the quickest ways I switch out my wax. Hey, here's a way to save money on shipping. Here's a time management hack I've found, right? You still could be talking about products. You could be time management. Hey, I use Scentsy swipes instead of trying to find my spray, find my rag. I actually just use a Scentsy swipe and wipe down my counter super quick. So you're providing value, and it's going to change the type of content that you're providing your audience. And it's going to change also how they view you and how they view your content. Those kinds of content are easy to want to seek out. Oh, what is her idea today? What is the tip or the hack of the day? They want to seek out that kind of content. So I want to show you guys a customer journey that takes place. And no matter what, in sales in general, there's always a customer journey that has to take place to get to a sale. And I think that there's this misconception on social media that I'm just going to post and people are going to come to me and buy my product. And then what ends up happening is people don't, And so then you feel like you're not good at social media, or social media doesn't work for you, or you get burnt out, exhausted, and frustrated because all of the work you're putting into content isn't converting to any customers or sales. So I want to talk you guys through what a customer journey looks like. And it's going to start with that value that we just talked about. So the first step in a customer journey is value. Okay. The second step in a customer journey is serving your customer. The third step after you've served them, you want to nurture that customer. And the fourth and final step is once you've done those three things, you've taken those three steps, then you're in a position to sell and to promote your offer or your product. So whatever you're offering them or sharing with them. Now, how this looks on social media is your value comes through your content. This is where you are showing all the content you're producing is providing your followers or friends some kind of value. Okay. It doesn't matter what it is, so many ways to do it, but you're providing them some type of value. And then the serving and nurturing comes through conversations. So your conversations are anything in like the comments and when you're messaging back and forth in a direct message, anytime you're having like a one-on-one conversation. And I cannot tell you this enough that this is a direct sales business. And the more direct conversations you have, the more effective you will be with whatever it is you're trying to sell or share, whether it's the business opportunity, hosting a product. Direct conversations are very, very important for your business. And if you notice, it's the bulk, it's two of the steps on the customer journey. And then finally, once you've provided them value, you've served them, you've nurtured them, then you're in a position to promote anything that you want with them. Okay, but here's what happens. We see it all too often. People try to do this backwards. They show up on social media and they're selling, like buy this, host this, join this, sell, promote, right? Then maybe they get somebody to say, okay, I'll try that business opportunity. I'll try that product. And they get someone in and then they're like, okay, I'm going to nurture this person and thank them. I'm going to follow up with them, thank them for their order. And then I'm going to serve them by sending them some happy mail. And then because they're a customer of mine now I'm going to give them some value. Now I'm going to add them to my email list. I'm going to put them in my customer group and I'm going to give them some of my first, latest and greatest Scentsy news, right? So then we're going to provide them value. And what happens is it doesn't work backwards. It actually is really frustrating when you try to work it the other way, when you try to sell, nurture, serve value. But if you flip the script and you focus first on providing value and you serve and nurture through your conversations, and then you're in a position to promote, you will convert way more customers and you will realize that you can run your business and grow your business using social media, but it has to be done in the right order. Okay. And I did put this in here because I think it's really important that I know I mentioned that the bulk of the customer journey is in those conversations, in those direct messages and direct conversations. It's really important that you remember to sell more in your conversations than your content. Show up more with offers in conversations. It feels more authentic instead of posting, hey, look what just came, look at this sweet treats collection. Who wants it? Okay, that's spammy, salesy. You're probably not going to get a lot of people. I like to also think of it as like hunting versus fishing. You can put all this content out there and it's kind of like fishing. It's kind of like throwing your line in the water and hoping you get a bite. It's kind of what posting is. It's like just kind of like, okay, I'm going to put it out there and hope somebody wants it. However, if you have a target and you're hunting, in your direct conversations, you have a specific direct person you're working with, and you say, oh my gosh, Melissa, I know you have a little girl, and I know that she loves Disney. I don't know this. I'm just making this up, FYI. I know she loves Disney as much as you. Have you seen our new wax bar collection? Because I think it's going to make her remember her trips down Main Street at Disneyland. Okay, that feels a lot more authentic. It's a direct conversation. It's a lot more likely to convert to a sale than just putting out sweet treats on a post. And it's kind of like hunting. Like I have a direct target and I'm aiming for the target and I'm a lot more likely to hit a target than just throwing a line out there and hoping I get a bite. Okay. That's where that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to wrap up because I know we're coming to the end. We're at 7:40. So I just wanted to give you 3 tips really quick before we get off of something you can implement right away, things you can do like right now as soon as we get off this call that are going to help you gain some leverage in your social media business. So number one, optimize your social media bio. A lot of times I look at Scentsy Consultant's bio and I will be 100% honest. It looks a little bit similar to a dating profile. It's like girl mom, loves Starbucks and long walks down the Target aisle. And it's all about you and what your interests and what you prefer and what you want to do, what you do in your free time. And while those things are important and they're special to you, what will work best with getting people to follow you and want to be invested in what you're putting out there, your content, is if you show them what you have to offer them. Instead of making it all about you and what you like and your interests, make it all about what you have to offer them. And I'll give you two big tips. If you can either solve a problem for them or appeal to a desire for them, you will hook them in a lot easier. In marketing, it's like marketing 101 is that if your product or any opportunity you share fixes a pain or brings a pleasure, so it's either hitting a pleasure point or solving a pain point, you are a lot more likely to convert to a sale, to convert to a booking, a party with a host, or even having somebody join your team. So those are kind of pain and pleasure are two things to keep in mind. What pains are you trying to solve? Or what pleasures are you trying to bring to other people? Okay, those are really great things to just keep in mind when you're doing your bio. So instead of all your interests, start talking about, hey, I love to hook my friends up with free and half price products. I love to gather friends together and hook the hosts up with free and half price products. Or I help moms make money from Wi-Fi, something like that. So it's all about what's in it for them and how you can fix something for them or do something for them. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is for across all social media, and your profile picture should be a headshot of you. We all love our pets, we all love our families, we all love our kiddos, but it's really hard to make a relationship or build a relationship with a picture of a logo or a picture of a pet. So I want to encourage you, this is a great way to optimize your bio, is put a picture, a headshot of you. And bonus points if you go and put it on your PWS, because that's great brand recognition. If somebody goes to your website and they see a different picture, they're going to be like, oh, wait, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. So you want them to see your face on your social media, across your social media channels, and on your PWS as well. This next tip is kind of for all of them, but specifically for Instagram. You want to make sure your username is your name. A lot of times people have, like Wax Boss 123 as their username. Well, that's really hard to build a relationship with somebody named Wax Boss. It also is not the best of branding, because what's going to happen is anytime you comment or message somebody, they're going to see Wax Boss 123. And so you'll do a great job at branding that. Well, guess what? If they never know your real name, when they go to find you, they're going to search in Wax Boss 123. Guess what's going to come up for them when they search Wax Boss 123? 100 million other Scentsy consultants. You might lose them. They might be looking through other people's profiles, trying to find you, see which one is you, and then they're gone because they found somebody else's post, or they got sidetracked, or they got a notification. And so you want to do a really good job branding your name. It's going to be a lot easier for you to connect with your followers and friends if they see your name and your face. Okay, it puts a person behind the screen and it makes it a little bit more authentic. The next little tip for optimizing your bio is very specific to Instagram, but I always love to share this little tip because a lot of people don't know this. So the line that's under your profile picture on Instagram, this is an SEO line. And what that means is search engine optimized. So what essentially that is anytime somebody searches on Instagram, it will always first pull from this line. And it's so important to know, because a lot of times, well, first of all, it's an easy mistake, because if you're in your profile and you go to edit this field says name. So guess what people do? They enter their name. So they have their username is waxboss123. That's the name everybody sees when they're commenting and messaging. But then under their profile picture is their real name. It says Melissa Gratz. Well, guess what? When somebody goes to search for waxboss123, even though that's Melissa's username, she's not going to come up first. She's going to, where it's going to pull from first is people's name. Because you got to remember that Instagram initially was a connection app, a friendship app for people to find friends. So it helped people find people by name, finding your person that you're looking for, right? So what I want to encourage you to do to optimize your bio is enter into this name section anything that your target customer would be looking for. If it's a work from home opportunity, if you're using social media to recruit, I want you to enter in there remote job opportunity, something that they would be searching for. Keep in mind, they might not know it's Scentsy. That's a good Pinterest tip also. A lot of times people go to Pinterest and they look for home decor or Christmas home decor. They're not searching for Scentsy Christmas. People that are searching for Scentsy Christmas are usually other consultants looking for images for their Facebook parties. Same thing for Instagram. If somebody's looking for a work from home opportunity or flexible way to make money, they're not necessarily looking for Scentsy income or Scentsy business. They're looking for remote jobs. So kind of put like the mindset of what would a customer be looking for if they didn't know Scentsy was the brand name. Okay, maybe you're focusing more on selling. Then in there, you want to put something about like home decor, home fragrance, wickless candles, things like that, because people are searching for home fragrance, home decor. All right. And just a little heads up in that section, you can only change it. I think it's twice every 28 days. It will tell you when you go in to change it. But just make sure you have everything spelled right. Because once you change it, you can't change it again, I think for 14 days. They always change that whole thing, how often you can change it. But just a little heads up, be very purposeful. I think it's 100-character limit you have to work with. You can kind of curate it to whatever business opportunities you're wanting to share, but make sure you're to optimize it that you're using that line as what you offer other people or the target customer you're aiming for. Okay, sorry, I'm hurrying. I'm sorry, Melissa. Okay, so in
You are totally fine. You are totally fine.
okay.
This is awesome.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. In your highlights, now highlights, if you're not familiar, this also, by the way, the SEO and the highlights are very specific to Instagram. But I want to put a call out for this because I know we have a lot of people trying to grow their business utilizing Instagram. Highlights are anything that you post to your story. Now that expires in 24 hours, but you can save it as a highlight and you can choose which highlight you want to save it in. So for example, this is a very old screenshot of Scentsy's Instagram page, but their highlights were Epcot, FAQs, catalog, Warner Brothers, and new. Okay, you can do any 5, you actually can do as much as you want. I think you can do up to like 100 different highlights, but you want to be really intentional and purposeful with your 5 because that's the 5 people see on your profile. And so you could do things like Fall-a-day and put fall and holiday products in it. And then you could do work with me and have anything like business tips and anything about the join opportunity. You could do save and have everything about having a party, right? So you just kind of want to be purposeful. And here's why this is important. Number one, if I know we want everyone to click on your profile and then go to your website and shop. Like that's ultimately what everyone would love, right? We all would love for them to just go to my website and start shopping. However, it actually flags you in Instagram if too many people are going to your profile and going off the app. And here's why. Instagram gets paid to keep people in the app. They have millions of people paying them millions of dollars with sponsored ads. And so they need to keep people in the app. And if they notice too many people are going off of their app when they come to your profile, it's going to trigger it for you and they're going to stop showing your content as much. Remember, they want people in their app. So you also want to try and keep them in the app as much as you can. You want them on your page. The more they interact with your page, it's going to signal to the algorithm, this is a connection. This is somebody that likes this person's content. So I'm going to serve it up more to them. And you could even test this yourself. Go to like a random person's page and start looking through their highlights and look through their posts, maybe like a couple. And you'll notice you'll start getting their posts in your newsfeed. Okay, so it works really good with the algorithm because it's noticing a connection. So you want to put things in these highlights that are almost an extension of your website. I think a great way to think of it is if somebody never clicked away to my website, if they never went to my PWS, what would I want them to know about my Scentsy business? What perks would I want them to know? Would I want to spotlight Scentsy Club, Scentsy business opportunity, whatever it is you want to spotlight? Maybe you are like a buddy fan and you're a big buddy person and you just want to talk about the buddies, whatever it is, you just want to be very intentional with those 5 things. What it will also help you do is your content you create, because you have to put it on your story to be able to save it as a highlight. It helps you think of, what do I need to be putting on my story so that I can have it here as a highlight. And Patty said, would you recommend no personal highlights? No, I do recommend personal highlights too. So even if you have like family vacation, things like that, that's going to be really play in really well to the authenticity factor. So helping them get to know you a little bit better, feeling like they're building a relationship with you, because the more connected they are to you, the more they're going to feel like they know you, they like you, they want to do business with you. Okay. Tip number 2, I'm skipping real fast. Okay. Is respond to 20 stories when you get on the app. So whenever you get on Facebook or Instagram, respond to 20 stories. And here's why. I think it's so easy to get on the app and push out there what we want to share with everyone, but forget that social media is a two-way street, and the algorithm is going to reward connections. It's going to reward engagement. So it's going to help you in the algorithm side if you are being engaged and social on the social media app. But it also is going to signal that connection again, because what happens with stories is it starts a direct message. I don't know if you've ever responded to a story on Facebook or Instagram, but when you do, it goes to that person's direct message. Remember, I said direct messages, that's where you want to be at. That's where you want to be selling at. That's where the best place to build a relationship, right? So stories is a great place to start a message, and it starts it authentically because you're responding to content that they put out there. And it feels good to them because they're getting responses on their stories, and they're a lot more likely to respond back to you. It's going to be a connected conversation. And what's great about that, like I mentioned just a minute ago with the algorithm, is that it will notice, oh, Anna and Melissa are talking a lot. So anytime Anna posts, it's going to serve it up to Melissa because it notices that there's a connection there. So the more people you're responding with in the stories, it's going to start serving up your content to them more. They might not have been seeing some of the posts that you put out there, but if it notices these two are connected, it's going to start serving it up to them more. So not only does it help you with the relationship and the business side, it also helps you the technical algorithm side. So that's really important. Last tip number 3 is to leverage UGC. UGC is user-generated content, and this is essentially content that you get from your host, your Scentsy Club subscribers, your new team members, or even just customers. So this would be like following up with a host and saying, oh my gosh, I am so excited to know that you got all your goodies delivered. I would love for you to send me a picture of everything you got for free and half price. And then you can take that post, that picture, that video, whatever she sends you, he or she, and you can put it on your page and say, take a look at what my last host got for free and half price by gathering her friends together to shop. Okay, so you're using other people's content. However, it's still authentic because it's your customer, it's your host, it's your new recruit. Your new recruits, you could say, oh my goodness, send me a picture when that kit shows up on your doorstep. I remember how exciting it was. I would love to see a picture of it when it comes. And then you could post, new teamie just got her box full of goodies ready to get her business launched. I'm just kind of coming up with this, but something to the effect of, this is your new team member. You just grew your business. You also just welcomed a new team member into the business. Okay. So you're leveraging other people's pictures. And there's a couple of reasons this helps you. Number 1, it's going to save you time. Instead of taking your own pictures all the time, it's going to give you content and a starting place. Sometimes it's easy to be like, okay, what do I want to talk about? But if you already have a picture you have to work with, then you can just figure out, how do I want to market this on my social media? Am I trying to talk about Scentsy Club? You could even reach out to Scentsy Club subscribers and say, I would love to see a picture of your last box. Send me what you got. And then, of course, ask them permission to share it. But it usually feels really good to them when you ask them if you can share it. Say, I love this so much. Do you mind if I share it? Typically, I've never had anyone say no. I don't think most would say no, but it feels good to them. It also feels a lot less spammy. If you've ever asked a customer, not that this is wrong, but if you've ever said, hey, can you post a picture of that new product you got and tag me? That to the other person feels like, oh, you want me to market it for you. You want me to sell it for you. But it feels a lot different if you say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love this picture. I haven't got this product yet. Do you mind if I share it? Okay, that feels a whole lot different. Second reason I love UGC is that it's going to expand your content reach, because when you tag people in a product, typically what do? They reshare it, or if it's on Facebook, it will go to their profile. And so now their friends and followers are seeing the content that you put out, and they're a lot more likely to respond and be like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? Or, oh my gosh, I need to have a Scentsy party too. I've been needing some new wax also. So it helps you kind of expand and reach new people that you can't reach with just your friends and followers. And the third thing is that it provides social proof. Social proof is where basically this whole notion that, of course, you as the consultant are only going to have good things to say about the product, the business opportunity, saving and subscribing with Scentsy Club, right? Of course. But if somebody else mentions it, or they see a lot of other people doing it, buying it, joining, hosting, and they have nothing to really gain from it, their opinions actually have a heavier weight and mean a little bit more than you as a consultant. Because you're probably never going to say anything bad about a Scentsy warmer. But when they see all these people, wow, she like has a lot of people that buy from her. Oh my gosh, she's always posting everybody, all these hosts that are having parties and getting all these free things. If everybody's doing it, or a lot of people are doing it and loving it, it must be legit. It must be true. There must be a reason I should do this too. So the social proof provides proof socially that what you're doing, marketing and selling, is of value to them. Okay. And so it kind of is just a little bit of a different way to gain their trust and to get their buy-in by sharing things that other people have. It's the reason, if you look on Amazon, how many of you like go to the reviews before you complete a purchase on Amazon? Like, I just had to buy a new dresser and I was looking at all the reviews. I want to make sure it's not like, what's the, not, there's a word for it. It's like something board, where I don't want it to just like snap and crack. I'm reading all the reviews. There's a reason. And Scentsy actually implemented that recently too, our reviews on the PWSs. There's a reason, because it's such an important thing that people look at before they make a purchase. So it's a great way for you guys to leverage social media. And particle board. Yes, Debbie, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Those are my 3 tips to implement immediately. I'm going to turn it back over to Melissa. I'm very sorry for taking all your time, but I can stay on if anyone has questions, but I'll turn it over to you, Melissa.
Well, first of all, you don't have to apologize. Second of all, hold on, I'm gonna join you here.
Okay.
Second of all, yeah, you don't have to apologize. You could continue to feed us and we will not be mad. A couple questions. So rapid fire, these ones came in the chat, and then I have just, I think, 2 questions for you as we wrap up.
Okay.
First is Patty wants to know, is there any websites or sources? This came in very early, right when you started talking, when you were saying about trending and ending on social. Is there any websites or sources that are good to subscribe to, their emails to get that info, or anybody to follow, or where do we go to follow along and be guided in trending and ending and social?
Yeah. Great questions. First, I will just send you personally, and you could probably share it with your team, an email or team page. I'm going to send you guys the link where you can get all of the insights and trends straight from Instagram. If you guys were to follow anybody, I would tell you to follow the Instagram CEO. His name's Adam
Mosseri.
Yeah, Mosseri, yes.
Mosseri, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
He's always giving little tips on like things that are coming, and he'll tell you, hey, we are working on this. And it kind of gives you some guidance on where you should start like pushing in more. Even he'll say things like, hey, we are actually trying to push right now direct messages. We know that direct messages are where connections are built. So that right now tells me, like he just said that in a recent video. Okay, as if somebody was trying to build their business on social, direct messages is where you should be playing at and leaning into in your business. I don't think he's on, I mean, I'm sure he's on Facebook, but I don't think he gives Facebook tips. I don't think. But the meta trends, I will send to you, Melissa, and it gives Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect. That'd be great. You guys, I'll push that out to all of you. Okay, the second question that came in was when you were talking about 5-second reels, and it was with the short reels, should there be sound or not sound?
Yes, always sound, because even if most people do not listen or watch videos with sound, however, sound is actually a way that people get to other people's videos. You do still want to put some kind of, even if it's music, if you can find or use a trending audio on Reels, I would definitely do that. Always have a sound.
Okay. Um, is there an easy way to tell how to edit your Instagram profile?
An easy way to tell.
Just, I can't figure out how to edit my Instagram profile is what came in.
Oh,
And
yes.
so,
Yes, okay, so when you go to your Instagram, there's in the bottom right corner, there's a little picture of you. You want to click that little picture and then it'll say edit profile. And right there is where you'll be able to edit all of your name, your bio, your website, all that good stuff.
perfect. And she dropped in the chat that she did get it. So by the
Okay.
time, um, okay. Now, for those that don't know, this is coming from me.
Yeah.
From those, for those that don't know, you are constantly posting and sharing tips on behalf of Scentsy and showing, I mean, I just saw the one where you took the 5 top selling products and you had Jason and Sydney and Sarah try to guess which were, you know, anyway, what order they went in. But another time, you know, you showed how to do the video where you create a reel, but like the warmer's empty, and then in the next frame the warmer has wax in it, and you are always sharing tips. You and the social media team are always sharing really helpful things. Where could someone go if they really wanted to tune in and not miss anything that you put out there?
Yes, great question. I love that you shouted that out because we do work really hard to give you guys these little tidbits of training. So the Scentsy Family Consultant page is where you'll find them. If you go to videos, there are some other posts sprinkled in there, but if you go to videos, you'll see we've mostly over all summer and all September been only doing social media and sponsoring. Those have been our two main buckets that we've been talking about. So if you go to videos, you'll see there's like a little title and it will either say social media tip or sponsoring series part 1, part 2, part 3. I think we're up to like part 17 right now. So go through the videos and you can get all those little tips for social media and for sponsoring.
Yeah, perfect. That's what I really wanted to nail down was where, because I follow it and I love watching every single thing that you put out because it's always helpful. So the way that she shared tips tonight with actual tangible, like, here's how to do it, that happens in these videos that you're posting and sharing on the Scentsy Family Consultant Facebook page. So
Correct.
make sure that you guys are following that page. Make sure that you're tuning into that page. In fact, that page is added on my little, make sure you go here, you
Yeah.
know, list to check in because there's been so much valuable information. Any other resources that you would point us in the direction of, aside from, I know you're going to send me for trends with regards to social media, but as far as Scentsy is concerned, is that family consultant page really where we want to
Best
hone
for
in?
social media, best for social media tips and kind of the more like real-time tips. However, there is some training that we did, and a lot of people don't even know we put it out there. It's Get Social on Your Socials. It's a training lesson in the workstation, and also social media for your business. Those are two great starting places. If you are, I think it's wait, I gotta double check this. I think it's Star Consultant and above. In your success path, we have a whole course on elevate your social media business, but that is gated to Star Consultants and above. I think it's Star. I could
Okay.
be wrong. That
And
one is, I'm just double checking. Sorry, really quick.
no, that's okay. Getting social on social.
Yeah, getting social on social and social media for your business. Those are two trainings that we've put out there that anyone can access. And then elevate your business on social media is the superstar consultant path. So if you're a superstar consultant or a director above, you guys could, anyone that's superstar consultant and above can access that. It is a little bit more of like I would say more, not super advanced, but it's a little bit more above and beyond basic social media training.
Perfect. Okay. I'm checking. All right. Last but not least, what is your favorite Scentsy scent?
Ah, that's so good. Okay, black raspberry vanilla has the closest place in my heart, but I really am a seasonal girl. Like, I autumn road trip is probably like my favorite for the fall. But then in winter, like I gotta switch to my snowberry. I have it in my club. just in case. And autumn road trip in my club. So I think I switch out more seasonal, but if it was like all day, every day, I just love black raspberry vanilla. It's like a
Oh,
go-to for me.
I
And
love it.
Amazon Rain. Amazon Rain's a close second.
I love it. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank
Really.
you.
Hey, you guys, have a great rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And Jonet, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Guys,
for having me.
bye, everybody.